Hey everybody, welcome to Artist Talk. Today we are exploring the poetry that inspired the art exhibition From the Inside at Bailey Contemporary Art. So big welcome to Shanteala, who is the host of Free on the Inside, and the wonderful poet Jon Kel, and of course our extraordinary cultural programming manager Jody Leshinsky. Welcome everybody to Artist Talk. Exhibition From the Inside, next to each piece of artwork are these incredible poems that came out of the Free on the Inside program that you are the host of. Can you tell us how that program came to be?
Sure. First, it's the baby of Sharonda Eccentrich Richardson. She owns a company, Be Eccentrich. It's a nonprofit organization designed around cultural arts and merging poets and the cultural arts all together to make space for that in this world, in this age and time. I am the president and the executive secretary for that company. And she had asked me before this all came about how I felt about going inside a prison and being a part of a program such as this. And I was very reluctant, very, very reluctant. Some past issues came about, and it just really didn't feel good until she started explaining to me what exactly she wanted to do. And this program is designed to develop communication on the inside. It's called Free on the Inside. The program that where we actually go in is called Free on the Inside. It develops the guys into speakers and not just doers. Anger can set in, and being confined can have a toll on them. And we wanted to make sure that they understood that there were other ways to have an outlet for that anger. So this was developed. It's in the third, going on the fourth year. And we are actually expanding. We are looking into juvenile detention centers so that we can reach younger generations and maybe try to curb that continual back and forth with prison and jail as a whole. But it is designed to create communication. We are doing workshops with the guys, and then we allow them to express themselves. So it's a very good program.
When you're in the moment and you're actually listening to these poets performing, what is that experience like?
Oh, it's jaw-dropping. I mean, to understand that these guys, they have talent. They're not just numbers. They're not just inmates. They're human beings, and they had talent before they went in, and they still have that talent. And the respect that they have for us when we come in. The prison that we start with is it's an all-male prison. It's a maximum 5 prison. Which means there are a lot of lifers there. And by lifers, I mean they may never see the outside again. No chance of getting out. That's where their home is now. So to think of that situation, but to go in and find that they are so respectful and they take pride in their gift. They're not just poets. They're singers. They're musicians. They're rappers. You go in there, you see it all, and it's like, where have you been? We know where you are, but where have you been all this time? They're beautiful people, beautiful people.
That comes through, I think, in the poetry and the way that you're helping them express their emotions. Jon, you're such an extraordinary poet, and you are so great at guiding people to get their emotions down. I'm wondering, how did you get involved with this program?
Well, I've been writing since age 7, so I know the healing properties that come with artistic expression. And I've also had family members incarcerated. So I remember visiting prisons as young as, age 4, to see family members. So this was something that was really passionate. I was really passionate about. So she really, Eccentrich didn't have to beg me to do this. I jumped at the opportunity, and I've been involved with the program for the last 3 going on 4 years. I work as the creative director in Be Eccentrich. So we try to bridge that gap between the arts and the healing, real life application of the arts. So that's why communication. I mean, everybody can fit that. So I'm really dedicated to this program.
So building on what you've just said about what you're doing with the program, the poems that are presented that were so extraordinary, they're so, so well done, and they have inspired our visual artists to just unimaginable extremes to create their artwork. What are you doing to work with the poets? That are you providing any sort of guidance or workshops with them?
Oh yeah, we have had opportunities to do workshops with them. Uh, Sometimes it's a little more difficult because it's a small amount of us. Sometimes it's just Shan, Eccentrich, and I that go in, or maybe another poet. And there's about 200-300 guys in there who are desperate for this guidance. So workshopping has been a little bit more difficult. We would definitely try to target that in smaller groups, but we really don't need it. They are super talented. So they just need the platform to express themselves. And sometimes we do give them writing prompts to help guide them. And then the next time we go in, and they have a whole litany of different poems and songs and performances based and framed around that writing prompt.
I was wondering if you might be able to share a poem with us. I know 60 Seconds is one of your signature pieces. Would you be willing to share that?
Sure. Yeah. This piece it resonates with, with the guys inside. And as well, this is Shan's favorite piece too. So here we go. Has anyone ever seen that $1 million Bugatti car up close? Man, it has 1,100 pounds of torque, 1,500 horsepower, and a max speed of 288 miles per hour. Woo! Do you know what 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds feels like? It feels like seeing your best friend at the age of 7 get killed by a bus after running to get a ball that you threw. If only the bus hit the brakes as fast as my heart did. I was just a kid. I remember growing up poor, seeing my mom and dad getting high, fighting over drugs. Sometimes they went from 0 to 100 so quickly that it ended in blood. I learned how to move through life just as fast as those jack boys running a 100-yard dash out my grandma's backyard. I always wondered who those empty purses belonged to and if they lived. I lived in the fast lane. Ever since I was given my last name, I was so young, my feet couldn't even reach the pedals. How was I supposed to overcome these hurdles with legs as short as Black life expectancy? They never expected to see me make it past 21. Saying I grew up fast is an understatement. And I spent most of my life racing against adversity, chasing freedom, running over any traces left of my innocence. I was forced to become a man before I was shipped off, and Sam became my uncle. Long before I could say my vote didn't count, I was supposed to count on my mother to teach me how to drive and how to survive the wilderness of this concrete jungle. And since there's no church in the wild, then what's a mom to a non-believer? Always moved in top gear, anticipating the fear of what was to come around the next corner, first gear. While some of my friends' parents called and invited their friends over for fight nights, second gear. My parents called and invited the police over after knife fights. To a child, domestic violence feels like war. Third gear, walking around the house on eggshells, setting off landmines, dodging bullets and bombs. I didn't need to play pretend with little green army men. I didn't need to go overseas to oversee the damage that was done. Fourth gear, dreams, broken like limbs. These battle scars may never heal. Sometimes I pinched myself to see if it was real, and it was. I never woke up from that nightmare. Fifth gear, I can still feel the tight grip of depression's hands around my neck, taking away my breath, choking me in my sleep. Sixth gear, homeless by the age of 15, scraping up pennies for food to eat. Stop. I wish I could have just stopped. But when traveling at the speed of light, shooting stars don't die until they make impact. And I'm hoping I don't burn out along the way. There is still tread left on my tires. My pistons are still pumping. There is plenty of fuel left in my tank. I learned how to control my need for speed, but I wasn't breaking the law. It was just keeping up with the flow of traffic. Thank you.
Extraordinary. It's not only the emotions that you bring to everything, but it's just your delivery and the thought process. I mean, it's just it's amazing. I'm totally blown away. I just wanted to ask, is there any other elements that you would like to bring out about this program right now before we start talking about what's next?
Sure. I just want to add that sometimes we don't get to the guys as often as we like. We've had some difficulties at the ending of last year and the beginning of this year, and now even more with the pandemic. So we haven't seen our guys for a while, and just know this comes from a good place. Our relationship with them is more than just walking in there, staying for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and leaving. We are trying our best on the outside to provide something for those who will be released. There are some there that won't be there forever. And when they come out, we really don't want them to go back. We don't want them to get in any kind of trouble. So we're trying to lay a foundation at this point that we can help them become productive citizens when they're out. We know that there's a stigma for those who have been incarcerated, and it's very hard for them to get work and to become productive citizens. And our goal is to teach them how to be entrepreneurs before they leave the prison. That is our next phase of this program, where we go in and we bring people in who can teach them the skills that they need to, surrounding their gift, that they need to become entrepreneurs, that they don't have to look for a job, that they already have a job when they are released. They already have certifications that they need to do the duties of their art and of their gift, and they'll be able to be somebody and won't have to be subjected to the ridicule that comes with being incarcerated for whatever reason. We truly believe they've done their time once they're out, and they shouldn't be looked at as still a criminal. They've done things in their past that got them where they were, but if they are released and able to be in society, we really want them to be productive and be able to use their gift to make money, and to provide for family that they left behind when they did go in. So that is our next phase of this program, and that is to, while they're in their last, I believe she's looking at 5 years. If they have 5 years to go, we want to mold them. We want to bring in people that can certify them while they're incarcerated. So when they're out, we want them to already have clientele. We want them to be entrepreneurs when they are released, so that they don't feel a need to do what they did to be put in that position ever again.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here and for the extraordinary work that you both do, and everybody does. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate it.